Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Dan Basse on the 30th of October, coming to you from New York. I've visiting clients here in New York, so sorry for the hotel room in my background, but it's what we have here today. Lots of news, lots of uncertainty, lots of rumors, lots of confusion is what we find in the markets. We, of course, had a strong rally this morning. After breaking sharply last night, the market's been all over the board. We've had a high in January soybeans up to 11.14 and a half. We've had a low of 10.70 and a half. That's a big 40 cent range. So everybody's trying to figure out what is meant. Of course, U.S. President Trump and Chinese President Xi met last night. They, of course, had a one-year agreement that caused that didn't give any real indications of what was related to soybeans. And so the market sold off last night based on the lack of specificity in that initial announcement from the meeting. Trump then tweeted that every American farmer should buy farmland and a new tractor, and the market then held a little bit. And then this morning we had Secretary Treasury Basse coming on Fox News and suggesting that China had pledged to buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans. We don't know if it's pledged to buy by the end of January or ship by the end of January, and then 25 million metric tons a year. We're not sure if he was talking a crop year or a calendar year. So again, lots of uncertainty. I go back and Trump did a one-year deal between Trump and Xi last night. Now Basse believes that this is a multi-year deal, and I'm not sure what that all puts into perspective. As we look at the market, we believe, in talking to some of clients that are related to the cash market in Chinese, we are not expecting that this will transpire in the big shipments nearby. China has all the beans that it needs to. And in fact, I would say that China would have to cancel some of its purchases from Argentina that it made, of course, roughly 3 weeks ago, if it was going to be bringing in 12 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans. It's almost logistically impossible. The U.S. and China have yet to ink a trade deal, and this trade deal is non-binding. So again, lots of handshakes, lots of promises. We'll see what happens in the market. But at least this morning, no real cash demand showing from China. Not sure when that will come forward. Could be some cargoes here or there, but I'm not hearing anything of a big nature. Also in the background, you need to understand is, did the Chinese drop their tariff? Is that tariff level that it was 34% now something less? Some are suggesting that the old duty used to be 3%. Maybe it's up to 13%. Others are telling me that the 34% got cut in half, maybe something like 17%. Whether it's 13 or 17%, it still means that the U.S. is non-competitive when looking at other destinations, and China would not buy unless Sinograin did it accordingly and did it for the government. So again, more and more confusion here. As I stand back from it, I really believe that the Chinese are making promises, again, that won't be kept. It's unfortunate for the U.S. farmer. I believe that the Trump administration has got us all a little too excited on the upside. We've had a 90-cent rally in beans. To me, the big feature coming forward is going to be the Latin American harvest and how cheap they are relative to the United States. If I look forward, those Brazilian beans are now $1 cheaper from the March, April, May timeframe. China's not buying from the United States. And again, even surrounding or trying to figure out this confusion, it doesn't indicate that it's anything tremendously out of normal. We went into the, of course, negotiations expecting China to buy somewhere between 3 and 10 million tons. If it's 12 for the old crop year, that won't change balance sheets tremendously. And we could still see U.S. soybean end stocks closer to 500 million bushels. On the other side of that, if we look at 25 million metric tons, whether it's for a crop year or a calendar year, that's pretty normal. So as U.S. farmers plant another 5 to 7 million acres next year, that won't change a lot of that. So again, I take a lot of this with a grain of salt. Things are still uncertain. There's lots of confusion in the markets. I wouldn't be surprised if the market closes lower today, because ultimately we need to have the bulls fed. And I'm not seeing the cash demand, at least right now, to keep this bull market going. So farmers need to be rewarding rallies. I think the one thing missing in this agreement was any kind of announcement for wheat or corn or sorghum. We'll see how that all goes forward. As we find out more information, we'll come back to you. But as I said earlier, much to be figured out. For us to get any kind of real confirmation or to back down in this confusion, I still believe farmers need to be selling rallies. I believe that the market's near a top. And I believe that South American weather and the size of the upcoming Brazilian soybean crop is what will direct prices longer term. Dan Basse coming to you from New York. I hope you all have a good trading day. As we get more things figured out and have some clarity, we'll be back to you. But I would also tell anybody watching this video that if you are looking at taking a service, AgResource would surely like to have us give us a try. Here's $1 a code here and a QR code that would let that happen for new subscribers in the next 30 days. As we figure things out, we'll be back to you later. Be well. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.